Fromville is a mirror, the illusion of choice. In Fromville, destiny is just a shadow formed by how you walk. If you turn in fear, the shadow turns too. Most residents think the system is guiding them, but they are actually feeding it. Like a weaver reading vibrations, the town's nodes only react to your emotional pressure. There is no grand plan, only a vast shadow of your own internal steps. Today we break down why fate in Fromville is just a psychological echo of a story that's already been written. Time without calendars, in a valley cloaked in pale dawn, lived a weaver of fate. Instead of fabric, he worked with the threads of time, delicate strands that shimmered like fish scales in the light. Every person carries a thread. When they're happy, it thickens. When heartbroken, it thins. And in despair, it cracks like glass. One day, a girl named Leon sought the weaver to glimpse her future, worried about an approaching war. He hung her thread among many, resembling a tangled forest of roots. After a pause, he declared, "Your fate is clear." Leon gasped. "Will I live? Yes. Will my family survive? No." Distraught, Leon yanked her thread and fled, changing her path, dodging war, escaping before soldiers arrived, seeking safety. She survived. Years later, she learned a haunting truth. Her family perished not from war, but because she abandoned them, giving soldiers a reason to attack her home. Crying, Leon returned to the weaver. "Did you deceive me?" He smiled gently. "I don't weave futures. I show where your thread leads. You complete the picture." Shivering, Leon asked, "So I'm responsible?" "Your fear of war opened a door to the fate you tried to escape. The weaver reads vibrations that shift with every breath. The biggest changes spring from fear." "Is fate real?" she wondered. The weaver chuckled. "Destiny is a shadow formed by how you walk. If you walk straight, the shadow is straight. Turn in fear, and the shadow turns too. Many misunderstand, thinking the shadow guides them, but it merely follows. That's the illusion. It always follows, never leads." Leon gazed at countless threads, some tangled, some radiant, some looping endlessly. "What should I do now?" she asked one last time. "Be vibrant," replied the weaver. "Don't trust your shadow. This tale's illusion of fate mirrors Fromville. Nodes only read emotions. Echoes reflect the past. Glitches are shadows of the host's actions. Roles emerge from emotional patterns, not choices. Everyone is mistaken, thinking the system controls them. In truth, they feed the system. Fromville isn't a controller, it's a vast shadow of countless emotional steps taken, just like Leon's shadow, the mirror room that never gives answers. In a hazy valley stands an old house with 8 windows, built by no known hands. Its walls echo sounds, floors carry the wind, and ceilings hold memories. Each night it transforms into the mirror room, revealing not faces but choices. Villagers believe it shows futures. Thieves, grieving mothers, fearful soldiers, and lost priests flock here, hoping to glimpse their destinies. In the center, a tall, glowing mirror awaits. One night, a young man named Shen steps in, anxious to know if he'll marry his love. As he holds his breath, the mirror trembles and his reflection appears. smiling, yet not mirroring his movements. "I've seen the end of your path," the mirror whispers. Shen, tense, asks for details. The reflection points to the mountainside. "You will die tomorrow afternoon." Panicking, Shen rushes home, unable to sleep. He packs his bags and plans to escape with his love. But as they cross a fragile bridge, it snaps, sending him to a rocky demise just as the sun sets. His lover returns to the village, heartbroken. Days later, the village elder confronts the mirror. "Why did you guide him to death?" The mirror quakes, and Shen's shadow appears. "I didn't kill him. He listened too closely," it replies. "Was that the future you foretold?" Questions the elder. The shadow shakes its head. "I reflected his fears. His belief in his fate became his path." The mirror room doesn't create destinies. It reveals the most vulnerable parts of us. When asked why it led him to the bridge, the shadow smiles sadly. "He chose that path. I merely whispered one word. The mirror echoes past events, not prophecies. What you call fate is just the echo of your own steps." That night, the mirror room stopped glowing, yet Shen's voice still echoes during full moons. No one knows if it's real or just a reflection from another realm. The house stands firm, its windows open, and whenever someone approaches, a voice resonates. No mirror leads the way, only humans dance in their own shadows. Fromville's echoes and glitches mirror the mirror room, reflecting the host's inner turmoil. Nodes replay past events, revealing shadows of old choices. The town gives the illusion of control, merely echoing past psychological patterns. Voices like Martin's calling Julie are echoes, not new messages. In Fromville, fate reflects emotional behaviors recorded in other timelines, not definitive fractured. The weaver of echoes. In a hidden valley, there's a city that never ages. The sky seems ordinary, the streets unchanged, but beneath it lies ancient nodes, like veins from ancestors who never found peace. These nodes hold emotions, unresolved anger, unspoken love, and slow-rotting despair. Each one is a shapeless jar, waiting for someone to pass by and release its contents. In the heart of this valley lives Julie Matthews. Julie thought she was just another young person, scared, angry, a bit lost. Unbeknownst to her, her footsteps suddenly vibrated the ground, awakening nodes that once offered refuge, lament, and lost hope. When a node awakens, it calls, not with a voice, but with echoes of past events. Julie dubbed them whispers, but they're merely the earth replaying old recordings. As she neared a node, something yearning to be reborn touched her, a fear that wasn't hers, an overwhelming curiosity, a sense of waiting. In the forest, one particularly thirsty node responded. It sent echoes of a man named Martin, trapped decades ago, his voice still screaming from the ground. The echo seeks its match, and it calls out, Julie. Julie thinks she's chosen, but she's just a match. Her soul resonates with Martin's lost voice. This pattern unfolds for all in the valley. In this valley, no one is truly chosen. People are just temporary hosts for stored emotions, like clay jars needing refilling before they shatter. The cruelest twist? Each echo makes the host feel destined, but it's just the past lingering on. Julie feels a pull. Tabitha sees a childhood vision. Jade perceives meaningless symbols. All of this is an illusion of destiny woven by those subterranean node roots that have lost their way. Among these roots, an old weaver toils endlessly, faceless and formless. It doesn't choose, it responds to the most vulnerable, those easily ignited by fear, love, longing, or anger. When drawn too far, this illusion can feel like revelation, a divine calling, a life path, but it's just an old recording played by a new host, puppets in a time-worn play. And the valley smiles, knowing everything that happened was meant to be, while what's to come is just a shadow of something already fractured. In a valley filled with nodes that consume each other, two always shine the brightest. These are the tower roll and the violin roll, two entities that never forget, despite their hosts changing over time. Long ago, they had different names, the Guide and the Singer of Hope. When Fromville was sealed off in 1506, the parents fighting against destruction clung to a powerful desire to protect, refusing to succumb to fear or despair. The earth embraced them, transforming their emotions into patterns, waiting for new hosts. The tower roll ahead of its time. Since childhood, Tabitha dreamed of a dusty place with stacked stones. She thought it was just a dream, unaware it was a memory, a glimpse of her past life. Throughout her lives, this trace appeared too early, as a childhood dream, a premonition, or an odd attraction to ancient sites. Tabitha wasn't drawn by anything outside, she simply returned to the place she had left behind. When she saw 3 stones, her body remembered something she didn't fully grasp. The node recognized her, and she screamed, not from terror, but from her soul recalling old trauma before her mind caught up. She was back to finish what was left undone. A reminder of an unfinished note. The violin roll is the most emotional node in Fromville, once embodied by a young man who played a hopeful yet sorrowful melody before the ritual started. That hope is woven into the node, seeking someone who resonates with its sound. Jade, with his sharp mind and fiery emotions, mirrors old host. That's why Jade experienced it first. The symbols came to him like fragments of the past, emotional memories, not mere revelations, like a melody he had played centuries ago before everything fell apart. The Tower and Violin never worked alone. In early Fromville rituals, they formed a balanced pair, willpower. When one pulled, the other followed. In 1506, they faltered, one died too soon, the other lost in the ritual. By 1987, they reunited but fell into the wrong hands. The violin host, Miranda, was crushed by knowledge. The tower host, Christopher, collapsed under pressure. The cycle is unending, and the node remains unstable. In 2022, they were summoned again, not by fate, but by an unpaid debt. Tabitha brought the tower's determination, while Jade offered the violin's sensitivity. 2 old patterns in new bodies, 2 souls in an unfinished world. And so, the story of Fromville continues, though success isn't guaranteed. In Fromville, the old never truly dies. It simply waits for its human to return. There's a common belief that Fromville traps people, but it's really a pattern at play, faceless and indifferent, flowing like water into a valley. Every visitor faces 4 paths of illusion where thinking they're chosen, when they're really just part of a bigger scheme. These cracks mislead visitors into thinking they're lost when they're actually on the right path, nudging them to revisit old patterns or embrace new ones. They're gentle pushes without touch. These tragic coincidences are merely the elements cycling to maintain balance. Residents misinterpret them as curses or hints. These roles aren't chosen, they flow naturally like a river, shaped by the land. Tabitha and Jade seem like reincarnations because their roles belong to energy nodes, calling to them through dreams, vision, and hallucination. Fromville sets up nudges, whispers, shadows, and dreams, and by the time someone chooses, the pattern has already closed off other paths. This is the trick of destiny, a choice that feels free, but is really an illusion fate. It seems supernatural, but the process is as simple and relentless as water flowing downhill. Fromville isn't a prison or a curse. Think of it as a serene river with ancient gears hidden beneath the surface. What you see is just the flow. The real magic lies in the patterns. Patterns react, not choose, and every emotion is an element. Fromville doesn't care who you are. It's all about the energy you bring. The city organizes these energies into new patterns. Nodes are like acupuncture points on Fromville. Press one too hard, and the whole system reacts. If someone resists a pattern, illusion system realign the energy. Think of it like an autopilot stabilizing its course, no matter who's at the helm. Fromville has maintained the same pattern for centuries because people consistently carry the same core emotions. Whether it's 1506, 1987, or 2022, the system just reshuffles the combination. Like a Rubik's Cube, it always returns to its original form.